welcome everyone to the final video of our Constellation Constellation Series of videos. So we are just taking a look and walking through every Constellation Series ship, because I think these ships are a little underrated. So I wanted to go through each one of them so I could kind of explain to you exactly like what's great about each one of these ships. So this is part 4 of 4. So if you haven't seen them, go back and watch the Taurus video, which is the first of the series. Then we did the Andromeda, and then we did the Aquila or Aquila, depending on how you say it. And then we are now at the Constellation Phoenix. Now, if you look up at my screen here, you can see that it says Constellation Phoenix Emerald. Yeah, so it's a little something. It's a little something different. We'll talk about that later, but let's just go over what the Phoenix is, right? So the Phoenix and the Phoenix Emerald are essentially the same ship. We'll talk about what the difference is later if you don't already know, but essentially the Phoenix is the luxury variant. So the Taurus is the cargo variant, 174 SCU. The Andromeda is the gunship. It has extra missiles and I believe an extra gun. And then you have the Aquila, which has the same SCU as the Andromeda, which both have 96 SCU. And they also both come with the P-72 Merlin, which is a snub ship on the back. And the thing that differentiates the Aquila, though, or the Aquila, is that it also comes with an RSI Rover, and it has a different sensor package, so it can scan further, and it's more of an exploration ship, whereas the Andromeda is more of like a gunship, and you can say that's its role, but it's really kind of multi-role when you think about it. And I think all of these ships are kind of multi-role. All of them have decent guns, and one thing that's great about all of the Constellation series, they all are super tough armored ships. So they not only do they have great guns, not only can all of them carry a little bit of cargo, not only do they all have unique roles, but they all are super tough. So again, heavily underrated series of ships. So I'm going to hop out of this seat so we can go ahead and take a look at the differences between the Phoenix. So the Phoenix model, again, is the luxury variant. We always got to up the stick on the haters, so let's put that away. You know, there be ghosts. So we look around, and you can see that the front is pretty much the same, and yeah, this room doesn't really change depending on the model. And now remember, these ships are going to get reworked at some point to kind of bring them up to the modern standard. But I don't think it's going to be like a drastic change in the way they look. I think they might change a few of the color schemes. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a drastic change. So are these green? I'm a little colorblind, so folks, tell me, are these green or are they gray? I can't tell. That would be cool if they changed it, right? So what I want them to do is, I don't need them to change this to make it like look drastically different per model, but I do want them to change the color scheme. So the dark gray that's on the Taurus, I would like for them to, you know, kind of change this to kind of meet that dark gray. And then the silver that's on the Andromeda, they should do like silver color changes in here. And then for the Aquila, which has like the orange accents, maybe you put some little orange accents in here. And then for the Phoenix, I think you can just do everything white. And then the Emerald, you can do everything green. Everything that would be white would be green. So yeah, I think they should just switch up that a little bit, just so you can tell, just from standing in the cockpit, which version you're in, right? Because you might hop into somebody's ship and be like, oh, which one is this, right? And like with at least the Aquila, you can tell, because you can look at the front and just be like, oh, it's round in the front. It's the only one that's round in the front, so that one's different. But I think they should differentiate. All right, enough of that. Let's go. So you can see we're still doing the same thing in this room, right? So these two rooms really aren't that much changed. Only the Aquila is the one that has the different change to there because it has the round front. But yeah, still the same old thing here, right? So the difference here is this is the crew area. And you'll see why that matters in a little bit. But yeah, this one pretty much looks the same as all the rest. You got your bathroom, your armor storage, your weapons rack, bottom airlock. You have your table here. And one thing I didn't mention, I mean, I kind of just skipped over this airlock a few times, but it has multiple entrances and exits, which a lot of ships that are very well loved, well liked, they don't have multiple entrances and exits. So don't sleep on the multiple entrances and exits. So just have to put that out there. All right, still 4 beds here, but once we exit this, you can see the drastic difference. So if you've been following this series, I've already done a video of the Constellation Phoenix's interior, so I'm not gonna go through every single thing that's in here. So I just wanna do a quick walkthrough just so you can see the differences, all right? So you have a room with little fishes here. This is a guest room. Remember, this is a luxury ship. This is the luxury variant, right? You got your Phoenix here, right? You could see this is drastically different than the other ones, right? And so this one is $350. So for the prices, the Taurus is $200. The Andromeda is $240. The Aquila is $315. As it comes with that Ursa, and then this one is $350. And you can see it's drastically different. So you got some seats for people to relax in. So you got 2 rooms. And then you have some seats for people. And obviously one of the coolest things about this ship. Look, doesn't it look like I'm just in space? That's how clear the windows are. But this is one of the biggest reasons to get the Phoenix. It has windows. Most ships in this game do not have windows. And it doesn't seem like a big deal until you realize, like, you're gonna be the pilot sometimes, but there's also gonna be times where you're not the pilot. And what are you gonna do? Wouldn't it be really cool to just look out and see the stars while you're on somebody else's ship? I just think that would be really cool. And then you can see there's 2 more seats here and then 2 more seats here. So a total of 6 seats. Then of course you have a meeting table and you have the bar, which is a lot of people's main attraction. 2 seats at the bar, mostly standing room. Yeah. Little TV up here. Your whole bar selection. The Phoenix decoration is really cool. And then, so, you know, you can play some cards here. It's got a little recreation area, another TV. I think they could also use a TV here. I think that would be pretty cool if they put a TV here. But yeah. Yeah, this is your, like, have a little party ship, you know? It's got all this room for dancing. You could, you know, hang out at the table. You can go over there and play some cards. You can hang out at the bar. Whole little, this area is definitely big enough for like a dance floor. And then you have, what's this? This is the jacuzzi. So this is supposed to have a jacuzzi put here. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the idea of a jacuzzi. I think they could probably find another use for this here. Or I just wish it maybe doubled as something else. But it is a luxury ship, so you got to give the people what they want. So I think this will be, you know, one of those things. I have to see it when it comes out. I also love this huge fish tank here. But yeah, I'm not going into too much detail. Like I said, I've already walked through this ship. This is just kind of showing you the difference of the variants. All right, and then you have your kind of Now, what's funny is you can kind of see through this, but I think it's supposed to be like privacy material. You're not supposed to see through it at all. But you can kind of see through there. I think that's just the video game, though. I don't think that's what it's supposed to be. And then from the other side, you can clearly see through, right? So you can see out what people aren't supposed to be able to see in, right? And then it's the same here. Oh, actually, I think this one works properly. So if you look, you can't see in there at all. Yeah, you can't see in there at all. It's just a reflection. So that's how this glass is supposed to be, because it'd be a little creepy to have people looking at you. Anyway, yeah, this is a 2-person bed. So this is going to be your, whoever's the VIP, or maybe your captain could sleep in there if you want. You know, depends on how you're running it. But yeah, you have 3 full bedrooms in this thing. 3 full bedrooms. So you can have up to 4 guests, as long as one of the guests is willing to sleep in the bed with another guest. So 4 guests. You can see there's 6 seats here. So if you have people who don't need a room, you know, maybe you make them pay extra if they need a room. And maybe, you know, there's 4 seats. These 4 seats are for, you know, those guests only, and these are, this is like coach class or something. You know, a coach class on a luxury ship. But yeah, then you have the bar and everything. So yeah, so let's go and look back here, because there's more. Yeah, so you're not just paying for this little luxury area. Come back here and you have this. What is this? Well, my friends, this is a P-72 Archimedes. The P-72 Archimedes is an absolute upgrade in every way from the P-52 Merlin that you get in all of the other Constellation variants. And I will actually attach to this video a little extra, if you will, of me flying around in the P-72 Emerald, which is the Archimedes. It's the same thing, P-72 Archimedes, but it's just with a green skin. And that's another thing that I wanted to show you, is why this one is called the Emerald. But before we do that, let's take a quick jump down here. All right, so you stand on this platform, and it takes you to kind of a stealth thing down here. What's this? It's that same chunk that's on all of these, except it has an elevator instead of those pesky ladders. But yes, this also has storage capacity. So this one has 80 SCU of storage capacity. So another reason that the Phoenix costs a little bit more, right, is because not only does it come with the P-72, which is an upgrade from the P-52, it also comes with a Lynx Rover, which is the luxury variant of the RSI Rover. So it's just a little different. I hope that in the future it becomes like faster to give it more of a purpose, because right now the Lynx, I genuinely like the way the Lynx looks more, but, and it has a few more, it has like windows and stuff. It's more like cool for like hopping into and like looking out of, and I think that's pretty cool. But at the same time, I do think it should be faster because it's just not carrying as much as the Ursa. So yeah, and then you have 80 SCU of storage here. So that's one of the main reasons that you get this ship. You get the upgraded Snub fighter. You get, it comes with the Lynx Rover, which fits down in this bay. And yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons to get this ship. And same thing, it has the amazing guns, and it has the, let's go back up here. It has the amazing guns, it has the amazing hull HP. But let's go back and see what the outside of this thing looks like. Again, these ships are super underrated, super underrated. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to do this series. All right, so let's take a look. So, if you notice, a lot of green on this one. Well, That's because this is the Phoenix Emerald. This is not the standard Phoenix. So all these green parts would actually be white on the regular Phoenix. But yeah, I think this is one of the coolest skins in the game. So part of the reason I wanted to do this series is just to have a reason to kind of show this off again. But also because I think the Phoenix series is woefully underrated. There's a few people who give it its just due, but I think there's a few people who are kind of sleeping on this ship and how amazing it is. It's got excellent guns. It looks great. I mean, some people don't like the looks of it, but I love the looks of it. They grew on me, I have to say that. They were an acquired taste, but absolutely incredible. And again, you can see our ship underneath. Now that is a P-72. It's hard to tell the difference, but if you can look at the wings, you can see it has a little bit of some extra there. Yep. This is one of those ships that I think a lot of people want and should get, but they are, you know, being pulled away by another ship, you know. Like a lot of the time when we think luxury, we think, you know, 400i, 600i, 890 jump, right? So this ship is actually right in the middle of that, right? So the 400i is 250, right? The Constellation Phoenix is 350. And then jumping up from that is the 600i. So the 600i, I believe, is what, 475 for the Explorer variant and 435 for the luxury variant. So to me personally, I think if you're going to get a 600i, you should get the Explorer variant because it's just, to me, it's just better. If you want a luxury ship, I would go with this instead of the 600i luxury variant, because I think the amount of money that you're going to spend on that versus this, I think I'd save the extra money because of what this comes with. Now, the 600i comes with a G12, so it does come with something, but it has less cargo capacity than this. So that's another thing to think about. It also doesn't have a snub ship. Don't forget about that little snub thing down there. Mind you, that snub is, you know what? I'll just talk about that a little later. Let's just look at this thing. Let's move it around a little bit so you can kind of see some different angles on this. Actually, let's angle it up a little bit. Look at that. I love this skin. By the way, if you're trying to get an emerald, you have to get it during Stella Fortuna sale. So that's part of the reason I'm kind of going over this as well. You still have the option to go and buy one of these. It doesn't come with LTI. There's a way to give it LTI if you do the whole Nomad upgrade thing. I don't really care too much about LTI. I'll get it if I can get it, but I'm not so in love with LTI that I won't buy a ship just because it doesn't have LTI. So yeah, I might do the LTI thing. I might not. Depends. I don't know if it's worth the amount. You know, I'm perfectly fine with having a few ships that don't have LTI. But I do think you should try to get LTI when you can get it. And, you know, I would keep the non-LTI ships to those that are like limited ships. But this is a beautiful ship. This is my favorite skin in the entire game. Like, I will just be pulling this out just to look at it. But yeah, let's hop to a little something else. This is the Constellation Phoenix. So if you've just been on this ride just to see all of the Phoenix, you're done. You can hop off, right? But for the people who stayed all the way through, I want to add a little bit something extra here. So
your adventure, courtesy of Kruger Intergalactic. Systems active.
All right, welcome to the Emerald. The Emerald what? The Emerald P-72 Archimedes. So, not much interior to speak of, but this is part of the reason I do the head tracking, so we could kind of look around in here a little bit. Trying not to disorient you, but you can see this is all the interior you get, really. But that's not why we're here. We're here for this. Let's do a little looking around in this thing. So, this is the Archimedes that comes with the Phoenix. You cannot purchase one of these separate. You have to get the Phoenix in order to get the P-72 Archimedes. So why would I get this, right? The biggest reason to get this is because of the extra weapons, right? Now, this comes with laser repeaters, and you could swap those out and put all ballistics on it, and this thing is insane. Now, the other one comes with the ballistic standard, but it has less weapons on it. So that's one part. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the Merlin might have some. One of them has better speed, and then I think the other one has the better maneuverability. But this is still an upgrade over the Merlin. It can regenerate its own boost fuel. So that extra oomph that you get from your ship, and mind you, these are snub fighters. So snub fighters are supposed to be fast. That's their key to staying alive, is being fast and being very difficult to hit, right? Because by the time you shoot those weapons you have, by the time they get to the target has already left the space where they're at. So, or where they're hitting. So, not to mention, I think these are some beautiful ships. I would race in this. Like, I don't have a racing ship, so this is pretty much my racing ship. And not to mention, I like that they're pretty rare. I mean, plenty of people have a Constellation Phoenix, so I'm not saying they're rare that much, but this one is the Phoenix Emerald, so this one is pretty rare. So I love the green accents. I love the whole color of this. This is a very nice looking ship. Let's move it around a little bit so we can kind of see the angles and the beautiful sun. Yeah, this is just beautiful. So you get the boost fuel, the extra weapons, the speed. It's great. It's absolutely incredible. And yeah, that will do it for our Constellation series. So if you didn't get a chance, go back, watch the Taurus video, the Andromeda video, the Aquila video, and this has been the Phoenix video. That does it for our 4-part series. I hope you take another look at the Constellation series and seriously consider whether it will actually help you in your fleet. The Taurus is the cargo variant. The Andromeda is the gunship variant, has the extra missiles, still carries 96 SCU, still tough. The Aquila, same thing as, pretty much this exact same thing as the Andromeda, except it has an RSI included. Both have that P-52 Merlin, which looks similar to this one, except it's white and has the one less gun. And yeah, solid, especially for the cost especially for how much they cost. And then the Phoenix. Phoenix is the luxury variant. A lot of people don't have a use for the luxury ship, but you saw like 7 people can bed log out inside of a Constellation Phoenix, which is really cool for a $350 ship. Not to mention, it has like the nice living area. So, I mean, think about it like maybe an apartment in the sky if you don't have a reason to do luxury travel. Like if you don't have to go back to your base and wonder whether, you know, the space is going to look luxurious because you got a Phoenix. You're not worried about the luxury that's there. You bring the luxury with you, you know. Of course, it comes with these beautiful looking snubs, which I think is another reason that the Constellation series is just so unique. You got the snubs, you got these things coming. I mean, the Phoenix comes with the Lynx Rover and the snub, where you can only get the snub if you get the Phoenix. That's very unique for the Phoenix. Then it comes with the Lynx Rover. No other ship comes with the Lynx Rover. And then the Aquila and the Andromeda, they both come with the P-72. The Aquila also comes with an Ursa rover. And then the Taurus, which just has all that cargo capacity and has all those guns. And all of these ships are so tough with very amazing guns. Like, I just think if you take a serious look at these ships, you'll see that they might be better than one of the ships you're looking at. So that'll do it for this series. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for spending your time with us. Peace.